Before we begin our press conference, I request Honorable Sikyong, Dr. Lobsang Sangye, to kindly launch the Thank You India souvenir, which is to be presented to the Government of India. Also, I request Honorable Sikyong again to launch the Thank You India calendar. Thank you, India.
31st March 1959 is the day when His Holiness the Dalai Lama entered India through Arunachal Pradesh. So 31st March of this year will be the beginning of the 60 years since the occupation of Tibet. So it's been 60 years, sadly, that Tibet has remained under the occupation of People's Republic of China, and 60 years of political repression, 60 years of economic marginalization, and 60 years of cultural assimilation, environmental destruction, population transfer. So on the one hand, it's a sad and tragic chapter of Tibet's history. Having said that, since coming to exile in the last 60 years, because of the support of the international community, but particularly this great country, India, Tibetans are still standing in the soil of this great land, India. And because of the support of the Indian people and the government and the country, 60 years have been a great journey. And as His Holiness Dalai Lama himself says, he is the son of India, because in the last 60 years, he has eaten or taken delicious dal, roti and bhat that he is physically made in India. And also he says he is a son of India because the wisdom, the knowledge that he shares around the world is based on ancient Indian wisdom, based on Nalanda tradition. Now when His Holiness Dalai Lama says he is the son of India, obviously the people who are standing here or sitting here and my colleagues who have joined and all the people in India are the children of India, because we all were born and brought up in India. In fact, subsidized through our subsidized schools, through our subsidized settlements, and also educated by Indian teachers and helped by Indian staff members.
What we are today, the 6 million Tibetans in Tibet and about 150,000 Tibetans in exile, what we are today is because of the support and help of the people of India and the government of India. So because of that one, for the 60th year of our exile in India, we'd like to express our gratitude to the government and people of India. For this, we have, as Darun Shinling said, we have an organizing committee and advisory committee headed by Dr. Lobsang Sangye, and we are going to organize various programs and events all over India, and that will have a great impact on the Tibetan people and also to the people and government of India. So the whole program, the basic programs will be in Delhi, which will start on the 31st of March, where His Holiness Dalai Lama and Indian religious leaders and Tibetan monks and nuns will have a prayer at Rajghat, and then we have a one-day mega program at Tegraj Sports Stadium, and then 3 days program at ICC. Now this will be replicated in other important Indian cities like Bangalore, Simla, and other states. And another important thing is that Tibetans are settled in about 11 states, and now Tibetans are also living in different cities doing businesses. Wherever Tibetans are living, they will also organize various programs and events to thank the Indian government and Indian people and the individual states. So this is some of the programs which we have there. We have a series of programs, and then that Ms. Dadunla will be telling you about some of the important programs which we envisage. And as I said, Tibetan people, Tibetan settlement offices, Buddhist monasteries, hospitals, schools, all these Tibetan institutions will be commemorating this Thank You India program throughout the year.
I will dwell on a unique component to the campaign. It's not just something that takes place on the ground. So this time, Tibetans in India will thank India both on ground and on the virtual space as well. So we will be doing a lot of social media campaigns as well. So we'd like to flag up a few of the hashtags which you could all keep a track on. So it's hashtag Thank You India 2018. Apart from that, we will be on Twitter at NetTibet. We'll be on Facebook at the Central Tibetan Administration, on Instagram at Tibet.net, and there's a standalone blog page as well. It's Tibet.net /Thank You India 2018. So what happens on ground and on social media simultaneously will be marking a series of important days, commemorations, celebrations, anniversaries, during which there'll be mass campaigns initiated by Tibetans and will join important initiatives of the government of India as well.
You are going back 60 years. You are tracing the roots of your flight from Tibet to India. Can I ask you that the decision taken by India several decades ago to acknowledge that Tibet was part of the People's Republic of China, do you consider that to be a historical mistake? Because now the Chinese argument is that if Tibet is part of China, then Arunachal is South Tibet and Arunachal also belongs to China. So do you consider the Indian decision taken several decades ago to acknowledge or concede that Tibet was part of China, do you think that's a historical mistake?
No, that's not the language. I think that there are several versions, and the most cited version is that Tibet is an autonomous region of People's Republic of China. But as far as historical status is concerned, Tibet was an independent country. So any country, including India, whoever says Tibet was historically part of China is wrong. So that we will not accept. But, you know, I think one should look at the debate that took place in 1950s and 60s. Really, there were great Indian leaders, including Ballabhai Patel and the others, who contributed a lot. There was a lot of wisdom in that. And there are a lot of foresight. The expansionist design that we're talking about was very much discussed. The parliament openly said Tibet is just the beginning, that it will be us. So that's what we say, you know. 60 years is still not too late. It began with Tibet. That's what I say when I travel around the world. It began with Tibet. You never said anything for 60 years. Now it ends with you. So definitely, and you know, this is the expansion design that's coming. So historically, Tibet was an independent country. Anyone who says otherwise is wrong.